Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm the Obscure Joe PT, and for today what we have in here we have a few. So the developers behind this game, the Compulsion Games, had offered me a key of the game. So they offered me the key a long time ago when the game was on early access, and it was a nice move in my opinion, because I did test the game when it was on early access, and the game right now it is very different than what I did test. So they really evolved a lot. So we happy few, let me just say this straight to you, because many people still are confused what is this game about, but most of the people still think that this game it is BioShock, or developed by the same team of BioShock. No, it is nothing to do with BioShock, okay, aside from the visual art style and, well, probably the way that you open stuff and get items every place. So you go to these cupboards and stuff like that, and you get a lot of items everywhere, okay. But apart from that, the similarities to the BioShock ends in here. Okay, so let's start first with the graphics. This game uses Unreal Engine 4, and I decided to go with a mix between medium and high. I decided to use shadows on high because you can only select shadows on low, high or ultra, and I think that the low shadows are a little bit pixelated, okay? Effects, I'm using the eye settings. This is because the eye settings enable screen space reflections, which is something that I do care about a lot when it's very used in games, and this is one of the games where they use it a lot. So I was a little bit crazy today, and I decided to test with 6 different settings. Okay, I did start with 720p in low settings, and by starting with those settings I fully understood that the Phenom II can't handle 60 frames per second all the time on this game. So I decided to forget entirely the 60 frames per second, and I decided to focus in something above 30s. And for me, I think that going with medium night settings is the best option for you to go, because for me the average was around 51 frames per second, and the 1% low it was 34. But if you have some trouble with the frame rate, you might as well as drop the game settings to medium, or even drop the resolution to 900p median settings. It still fares very well in visual department, so it's not a big loss, but with the median preset you get a little bit of more pixelated shadows and you lose screen space reflections. The eye settings and the ultra settings, this is when the game starts to drop from 30 frames per second. My personal opinion is that you should get above 30 frames per second in this game. First, because probably you will play this game with a keyboard and mouse, and something lower, and even 30 frames per second with the keyboard and mouse, it's, well, a little bit clunky, to be honest. And second, because I'm not really sure how the game will behave a little bit more forward. So for now, what I've noticed is that the frame rate vary a lot depending on the area where you are playing. Vegetation has a great impact in performance, as well as villages. I noticed that at the end of the video in the village I was having pretty much 30 frames per second, close to drop from that, and at the beginning the same thing. But in the middle of the video I decided to go to a fortress. It was an interior environment, and right there the performance was just great, around 40, 50, 60, even 70 frames per second. So the interiors are easy to run, but outside, that probably it is where you are going to spend most of the time with the game, it is a little bit more demanding. Okay, that's essentially what you need to know, and again, I'm not really sure how the game will behave a little bit more forward. But apart from that, it was fine. Also, very CPU intensive, which means that if you have a much better CPU but you have the similar graphic cards, I'm pretty sure you will get a much better performance, okay? Essentially, that's what you need to know about the game performance. Now, let's jump to the subject about the game itself. So about the game itself, like I said, the game it was on early access. It was on early access during a lot of time. They offered me the key. I was very satisfied with that. But, well, I'm not sure what the hell did happen, but they decided to go with a new publisher. Okay, so Gearbox picked up the project and started to be the publisher of the game. I'm not sure how the hell this is accurate or not, but the game, when there wasn't Gearbox as a publisher, the game was costing around 20 to 30 euros. I think that if they launched the game for 30 bucks, I think it was a good price, okay? But I'm not really sure if this is related or not, but since Gearbox appeared in this game, the game starts to cost 60 bucks. And in my personal opinion, the game isn't worth 60 bucks. It depends a lot what you can expect about the game. And to be honest, my video in here, it is a little bit big, it is pretty much 20 minutes, and I will shut up eventually, and I will let you enjoy a little bit more of gameplay without any commentary, for you to have a better idea about the sound and everything about the game. But my video won't be explaining everything about this game, okay? I think that if you are searching for a review for this game, you should check ACG reviews and stuff like that, because these guys explain very well what is this game about. But essentially, this game, it is pretty much a survival game where you have a skill tree, you have a lot of stuff that you can evolve, and also have a story. And this is the thing that I think this game is very good. It's at the story, it might be a little bit generic, but it is good. The sound, it is very good in my opinion. The voice acting is amazing, and graphics wise, I think it's rather acceptable, okay? It's an Unreal Engine 4 title, and it will behave as an Unreal Engine 4 title, okay? Essentially it's that, but probably what it's going to disappoint you, and for me I think this is my main disappointment. I think since this game offers a story and it's pretty much a survival, this game has a thing, that it was a thing back then, that it was a random generated scenarios. So it means that every time you start a new game, the scenarios will be eventually a little bit different. So not all the city will be the same. The game will generate different assets for the cities and stuff like that. So it's a good thing if you want to replay the game, but I don't think that it would be a nice thing for this game. I think that if they crafted this game from the beginning with a linear story and the linear assets and environments, even if it was open world, but it was designed by them to be like this and not random, I think it was a better idea. But that is just my opinion towards what the game could be. Steam users voted this game around 70%, so again, it's not a big score. And like I said, I would prefer you to buy this game on a sale. I think it would be more justified for this game. But if you really like this game, and if you really want to play this game, and if you check the reviews in other channels of YouTube or in websites and you like what you saw or what you read, well, go ahead, because it's a nice game, okay? It might not be for everyone, but it's still a nice game. Although for all the users that are a little bit more skeptical if they should waste the money or not, my personal suggestion is to save the money, buy this game on sale, go buy any other game. If you don't have any other game to buy, go buy an SSD because they are getting very cheap. Save the money for anything, for a girlfriend, for a boyfriend, go out or something one day or one weekend. There is a lot of stuff you can do with 60 bucks, okay? So guys, that's essentially just that. Hope you did enjoy the video. If you want to buy the game, there is a Steam link on the description of the video, okay? So I do hope you keep enjoying the rest of it, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye guys, thank you a lot for watching.
Hey, in the other corner, is our two-time winner, AMD Phenom!
Bloody hell! Arthur Hastings?
I'm sorry? I don't think I know you.
Of course you know me! You got me sacked from the Oak Current!
I don't remember that. I don't work there anymore.
You thought one of my articles was insufficiently original?
Danny Defoe! You've lost a bit of weight. To be fair, you did copy my piece line by line.
Who gives a shit, Hastings? A newspaper's supposed to make you feel good. Nobody remembers what they read.
I don't want to fight you.
The feeling is muted. There's only enough food for the winners, see?
Now lads, choose your weapons. One is quite lethal. The other will just give the other chap some bad dreams. Up to you.
That padded one doesn't look nearly as effective. How badly do I not want to kill good old Danny? And Danny's picked the lethal one. That's cheery.
Hey, some guy, I got great odds on you. Don't fuck it up. He's gonna come on strong with that lead pipe. You're gonna want to block that. It's trust you. He'll drop his guard.
Can't we just agree to disagree?
3, 2, 1. Let's spice it up, shall we, eh? How about we let the birds have a chance? If you lost your bet on Defoe, now's your chance to have a double or quits.
Oh, afraid to bite a girl? Yeah, take it real easy on us. When you'll help yourselves.
How do we
Bandit!
And Arthur, King of the Parade, is victorious. Arthur, you are free to go. It's been a real pleasure having you over. Catch you later! Let's all wish him well on his journey.
Oh God, this on. Oh God. There's some sort of vent. I wonder if I can pry it loose. I'd need a jimmy bar. I suppose now that no one is actively trying to kill me, I ought to be on the lookout for a motoline dispenser. I better figure out how to get rid of him more quiet like. I definitely don't want a crowd. Now we see the violence inherent in the system. Locked. Aha, but I remember how to make a lockpick. This one hurt a bit. Please don't make a fuss. There we go. I can find a power cell right motoline. Pure resublimated diamond. I guess I can go to that hamlet and give that chap his medals, and he'll give me the card I need to cross the bridge. I think that's everything I had when they jumped me. If I crouch, I bet I could disappear into those bushes. Huh? This might take a minute. It occurs to me that the locals may not be all that welcoming. Oh dear, let's try. Hello? Anyone out there?
Are you a tourist? You're dressed like one.
Shit.
Slumming it, are we? Must be nice to have a closet.
Over here! Over here! Do you want to get thrashed? Come in! Come in! God, you're new here, aren't you? From the parade?
Yes. Well, how could you tell?
Yeah. I'll tell you how to survive your next 5 minutes, and in return you'll give me your socks.
That's outrageous.
Your funeral.
Why are they so angry?
Because that suit you're wearing reminds them of all the jolly, proper, decent wellies who drove them out of their homes in the village. And now we're all cold and tired and starving to death. You better get a nice sharp rock and rip that to shreds.
My uncle gave this to me for Christmas.
Or they'll rip you to shreds.
Shit. I hadn't thought there would be so many.
Yeah, it's like the latest groovy nightclub, isn't it? People get a bad batch of joy, and it like flips a switch, and they can't take joy anymore. So they get chased out of the village. Been a lot of bad batches lately.
So what happens if I rip up my suit? They invite me over for tea and biscuits.
Then they really won't give a damn what you do, so long as you don't take things that don't belong to you. Or go up and punch someone in the nose. Now you can survive the next 5 minutes. Cheerio!